Welcome back, guys. Equity Podcast. Coach Berek here. We're helping to give you the tools that you need to be fit for life and to expand your health span. A little tongue twister there. And we do that through nutrition, fitness, and accountability. Today I want to talk about that feeling of needing more cardio, but you're actually really good at cardio. And in general, this might be the case. You might need more cardio, but a lot of times we don't. That's not the underlying issue. We have runners that come in and they're great runners, and I am not a good runner. I'm okay, but I'm not a runner, and I will beat them in a running workout where it's primarily running. And the reason is it's not because I'm good at running, right? We just said that. They are better at running than I am. They have the cardio. They have more of that cardiovascular endurance. However, when you start pairing running with other movements, or you start doing different movements altogether, and all of a sudden all that cardio from running that you have, and you bring that into a different field, it's going to be different. And it's all about movement efficiency. So I think the standard, like the very straightforward way, is like take a runner that has run always and then make them do a swim. That is not a one-to-one relationship. If you don't have the skill of swimming, you're not going to be a good runner. And in the vice versa, you might have a swimmer that's really good, that does long distance swimming and that can swim forever, and you put them on the road and they try to run and they're just not going to be as effective. And the reason is because it's skills. And more specifically, what we mean is movement efficiency. We want to make sure that we can move efficiently. And if we don't do that, if our movement is inefficient, we are going to have to use more energy. We're going to need more oxygen. Our muscles are going to be doing more work when we're inefficient. So for example, if we're doing a workout with run and thrusters, if you're pushing too early on that thruster and you're using a lot of upper body and you're not able to get into a good front rack, and that thruster is just dragging you down, and if it's really, really hard, it doesn't matter how good of a runner you are, you're going to be wrecked for those runs because your movement is so inefficient on the thruster that you have to use so much oxygen and so much muscle stamina that it's going to hurt you on the run. Whereas if we have somebody that is really fluid and really focuses on that core to extremity with the thrusters, they're going to be able to push that run a little bit more, even if they don't have that cardio endurance. So we might have we might have decent technique, we might have all of those tools, but we always are looking to work towards better. You guys see this all the time, right? Work towards better. And that is in all of the little details, right? Making sure we're jumping up to the bar, making sure that we're breathing properly through the movements, right? On a thruster, I'm going to keep using that example. We want to not just at the top. Some people just hold their breath on the thruster. Some people just breathe at the top. We need to be breathing throughout that movement. We need to both hold tension and be able to breathe. We need to be able to use our big muscles first, then our little muscles second, right? Hips and legs drive up and then press with the arms. And this goes vice versa. If we have somebody who's really good at thrusters and their running isn't really good, and you have somebody that's okay at thrusters but a really good runner and they're really efficient at running, we can see this vice versa, but we generally don't see that as much because those barbell movements, the kettlebell movements, the gymnastic movements are just so skill based, and we just don't have as much experience in that field. So if you're feeling that in workouts, like the cardiovascular endurance, the stamina side is just wrecking you, what I want you need to look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, or maybe video. We don't have mirrors at the gym, take a video and be like, oh, I need to work on my movement efficiency. right? And if you're not sure how to do that, what we need to do is there's a couple things we can do. One is when we take group class, really focus on what you're doing. Like when we do general warm-ups and the specific warm-up, like we do that for a reason. That's going to help you refine the movements. If you can move well with an empty barbell, you can move well with something a little bit heavier. What we see a lot of times is people when they start is they're like, oh man, it feels so much better with a little bit of weight on the bar. And that is just a movement that you're in the infancy of learning, right? It should feel just as good no matter what the weight is. You know, that the technique should look very similar no matter what the weight is. The second thing that we can go to is get some one-on-one help or get some two-on-one help. So one of the things we do a lot as coaches is we work one-on-one and two-on-one to refine a movement, and this helps us speed up the process. Hey, how do I get there faster? And that's by getting help. Like you can get there by yourself, but getting some like one-on-one help, that's going to really, like doing group is going to get you there, but and really focusing, right? Not just blindly taking group. You have to focus and like watch other people and listen to the coach and do the things. You have to be, right? It isn't practice makes perfect. It's mindful practice makes better. Mindful practice makes better. If you're just going through the motions and you're just like, yep, this is it. If you're doing this, if you do a thruster the same way every time, your thruster isn't going to magically get better. You have to actively work on getting it better. What are you doing differently? And you have to focus on that. And getting a coach to help you with that can help speed it up or really dial in your focus time during the workout with the coach, you know, during that group. So when we start realizing that we're having some, you know, cardio issues, like I said, it might be that we need to work on our aerobic capacity. That might very well be the case, and you know, it doesn't hurt to have more. But we also want to make sure that we're working on our movement efficiency. Like what are the workouts that are really crush you? Is it the running workouts, or is it just running paired with something else? And what is it paired with that's really hurting you? It could be running as well, right? We need to be efficient at running as well. But what are those movements that are really hurting you? Gymnastics, the barbell, all of them. We can start working on that movement efficiency. So if you think this would help somebody, if you know somebody this will help, send it to them, share it to them. When we help others, when our goal is to help others, we all win, right? Helping somebody else is going to help all of us. So if you think this will help somebody, share it with them. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and to invest in yourself, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.